telling us, this is God. He said, don't learn the way of the heathen. He calling the other nations heathens. We ain't the niggas. They the niggas. They the niggas. Now we may act like niggas. We act like them. But they are the ones. It ain't us, bro. We just been beat down so much we think we less in. God said you the best thing on the earth. Young man, you the best thing on the earth. You know that? You a God on the earth. We just gotta get our minds into God mode.
Bringing no heresies, I'm David seed till they close the gates. Something you never see is me bending knee, got a throne to take. Building a franchise with the most high with a role to play. Everything we doing, preparing them. Dark ages coming back and scaring them. Part ways with the people with fearing them. Visine, your whole block get declaring them. Got my eyes on.
We don't even know our own nationality. I can ask you, what's your nationality? You might say I'm black. This sister might say I'm Christian. This sister might say I'm African American. But how all y'all look the same and y'all 3, 4, 5 different things? You see what I'm saying? Because we don't know who we are.
Right.
We don't know who we are. And none of those nationalities I just said, we can't find it in the Bible. So when we read in the Bible, guess what? We don't even see ourselves in the Bible.
Right.
Because we don't know who we are. But guess what? The Bible said we are Israel. When you read the Bible, you hear Israel, that's talking about you, and you. It's talking about us. It ain't talking about those white folks over there in the land of Israel right now. It's not talking about them.
Right.
It's talking about us. We are Israel. Israel was a people before it ever was a land. Right. Israel, listen to what I'm saying. In Egypt, they was calling us Israel then, before we ever had a land. So it ain't about what a landmass is, it's the people. That's what make up Israel. You understand? Y'all understand that? We are the children of Israel. But they don't want y'all to know that. They want you to stay African. As long as you say I'm African American, I'm black, I'm Muslim, I'm all these other things, but what God told you that you are, nobody gonna give a damn. Oh, they gonna be like, oh yeah, he don't know. But the moment you say you're an Israelite, you think about, look at the athletes that tried to do this. Kyrie Irving and what's the other dude? Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. He said, Deshaun Jackson, they say I'm an Israelite. Try to take them brothers out the league just for saying. Kyrie Irving, all thing he did was post a link. He never said a word. He just posted a link about Israelites. They made this brother go pay a hell of a lot of money, go sit down with white people and beg and say he was sorry. For what he do? He just posted a link. That's all he did. That's the biggest bomb that you can drop. Stop celebrating Christmas, Easter, all those things, and start keeping God's commandments. Right. Now, you are a threat to this society when you start doing that. You the threat. But as long as we walk around here smoking in our minds, sleeping with our sisters, listen to this destructive rap music that tell us we the only group of people that make music talking about killing each other and talking about whoring out our women. Right. We the only group of people that do that. Who's behind the music? Who pushes that? Who pushes that? Amalek, the white man, pushes that on our people. Right. And we play it loud. We'll bump it up loud. Listen to a song talking about killing 30 niggas. And we riding out, we doing this to it. Hoeing out our women, we doing this to it. That's insane, that's crazy. Deuteronomy 28.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
That's crazy, bro. 28. Watch this. Watch this right quick. So we gotta change the way we think. We gotta change our mindset. This world has taught us to go opposite of what God is telling us to do, and we accept it because that's what the Christian church has taught us. But all that came from our slave masters all the way down to us. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Bible said the Lord shall smite us with blindness. Think about this. We'll take a $2,500 car and put some $10,000 rims on it. That's madness, bro. That's madness. We'll go and pimp out our women and call them all type of hoes in front of all the white folks. Why you don't never see Chinese women or Chinese men talk about their women, calling their women hoes? You don't never see the white man calling their women hoes. We don't never see that, but we do it. We promote that. So if we doing it, if our own men are doing it, what do you think the other nations are gonna do to our women? They gonna treat them like ish. They gonna treat them like ish too. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about them. So we gonna treat them like the same way. Read.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in the darkness.
We are so smite with madness. God said we gonna grope at noonday. You ever seen a blind man? He grope. But he said we gonna be doing that at noon when the sun is out at the hottest. Is it bright at noon? It's bright. I can see pretty clear at noon. Right. Even if I got bad vision, I can see pretty good. God said, guess what? Spiritually, we are groping around in the dark at noon because we don't know who we are. We don't know we don't know what our God looked like. We don't know what our language was. We don't know nothing. We just follow along what's been taught to us century after century after century. Y'all understand that? That's why we follow Easter, Christmas. We go to church on Sunday. None of that is in the Bible, y'all. None of that is biblical. Easter, do a rabbit lay eggs? So why do we do Easter egg hunts and all this other stuff? We got rabbits. That is idolatry. Those are all pagan gods. Christmas tree, pagan gods. It's in the Bible, Jeremiah 10. It's in the Bible. We don't supposed to do that. We picked all these customs up during slavery from the white man. It was passed down from generation to generation to us. And we still do it today. We still do it today. And we'll say it's for the kids. Oh, I don't celebrate Christmas, I just do it for the kids. But guess what Christ was doing when he was a kid? Bring it out. He was going over the scriptures. Right. You never heard about Christ when he was a kid sitting up under a Christmas tree waiting for presents. We never read about that. Christ was, when he was a young man, 12 years old, he was amongst the men learning the scriptures. Right. Watch this, read.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Now he's telling us, this is God, he said, don't learn the way of the heathen. He calling the other nations heathens. Right. We ain't the niggas. They the niggas. Right. They the niggas. Now we may act like niggas, we act like them, but they are the ones. It ain't us, bro. We just been beat down so much we think we less than. Right. God said you the best thing on the earth. That's right. Young man, you the best thing on the earth. Right. You know that? You a God on the earth. We just got to get our minds into God mode. Right, read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
He said, don't be dismayed at the stars and the big dippers and all that. Don't be dismayed at all that stuff, right? We don't be getting to all that astrology, all that stuff. White man, they are fascinated by all that stuff. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them. Right. For the customs of the people are vain.
Those customs are vain, right? Read.
For what?
We finna read this. Y'all tell me what holiday this is. Read.
For one cut up a tree out of the forest.
They said one gonna go cut a tree out the forest. Now today, we don't have to go cut trees down. We can just go and buy a tree, or we can go in Walmart and pick up a tree, right? Read.
For one cut up a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
Now, they take that tree, they cut it down, they deck it, the tree, with silver and gold. Today we put lights on it, we put the star on it, we put all this stuff around the tree. It's the same custom they did back then. It's talking about, the Bible said there is nothing new under the sun. Everything that we see today is happened before in the past time in the Bible. Read.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
So back then they had to fasten the tree, down with nails. Right now, today we got the little tree stand we put in our house so it don't move. Same thing, read.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
So at this time, the trees was like a god at that time, right? That's what we do, but we took that and said we're gonna call it Christmas. It actually, if you look up in Dutch, in the Netherlands, they got this this thing called Santa Claus. Look it up. You got a phone where they all Zwarte Piet, all the white people paint their faces black during this time for the whole, it may be a month, for a whole month, and celebrate so-called Christmas. They do blackface because they say Santa Claus and his black slave, Zwarte Piet. You can look this stuff up. We have perpetuated the same thing all the way down to America. But we make it fun, it's for the kids. Give me Luke, what do I want, Luke 2? What's that, Luke 2 and 41? When Christ was 12? Yeah, give me that. Watch this. So we say it's for the kids, let's see what Christ was doing when he was a child. You know what I'm saying? And did his parents have him celebrate Christmas? I think it's Luke 2, read that. 41, yeah.
The book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
So his parents, this is Christ's parents, right? Joseph and Mary. They went with Christ every year at the Passover. Guess what? They was keeping the Passover at that time. They wouldn't celebrate Easter. They was keeping the Passover, read.
And when he was 12 years old.
How old was Christ?
When he was 12 years old.
How old are you as young man? How old? He's 11. He's around the time age Christ was. Christ was 12, he's 11, read.
They went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned to the child Jesus.
And this also shows around the time Christ was born. Christ was born around Passover time. So December 25th ain't Christ's birthday. He wasn't born in the dead of winter. So that's another lie. They say, oh, Christ's birthday, December. No, Christ was born in the spring around Passover, right? Read.
And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem. And
so they went to the feast. The parents leave. Jesus stayed behind. He's 12 years old. He's still back in Jerusalem, read.
And Joseph and his mother knew it not.
They didn't know what he was. He's 12, read.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk.
So think about this. Your son 11. If he go missing for a day or two, you're gonna be worried as hell, right? That's the same thing Christ's parents was doing. They was like, where is Christ? Where is he? Where's Jesus at, read?
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him.
So they looking for Christ. Now they had to go back to Jerusalem to find their 12-year-old son, read.
And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple.
Now he was gone for 3 days, a 12-year-old kid missing for 3 days. You would lose your mind, right? You would lose, any parent would be going hysterical about their 12-year-old kid, right? Is he celebrating Easter? Let's see, read.
Sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions.
He's sitting amongst the men of the Lord, asking questions about the Bible. That's what he was doing at 12 years old. So, when people say Christmas is for the kids, no, Christ was not doing that when he was a kid. Right. He wasn't keeping Christmas, all right? So anybody got any questions? We're going to get ready to wrap it up, y'all. We got any questions? Jesus Christ is a black man, all right? I always remember that. Jesus Christ, hey, young man, Jesus Christ looked like you, all right? When he was coming up, he was a dark-skinned black man. Don't let nobody tell you that. Nobody tell you different. And your hair is not nappy. Your hair is like God's hair. Woolly hair is not nappy hair. It's God's hair. Don't let nobody take your self-respect, your dignity. We are the gods of the earth. We the salt of the earth, right? Without us, this place would be just a plain flavored chicken. We put the salt on the earth. Everybody try to emulate us, but we try to emulate other people. We got to stop doing that. We have to stop doing it, all right?
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word